Have you ever felt ignored? Like you're crying out for help, but no one seems to hear you?
It's a lonely, frustrating feeling, isn't it? Well, today we're diving into a story about a woman who faced exactly that, not from just anyone, but from Jesus himself. And what she did next is one of the most powerful displays of faith in the entire Bible. So stick around, because this story might just change how you see your own struggles and your own faith. The story begins with Jesus traveling to a region that was, let's say, off the beaten path for him. He heads to the area of Tyre and Sidon, which was Gentile territory. He tries to keep a low profile, hoping for some quiet time away from the crowds. But as we know, word about Jesus spread like wildfire. He couldn't stay hidden for long. And that's when our hero enters the scene. The Bible describes her as a Canaanite or Syrophoenician woman. This is a crucial detail. She wasn't Jewish. She was a foreigner, an outsider from a people group that had a long history of conflict with Israel. By all social and religious standards of the day, she had no right to approach a Jewish teacher like Jesus. But she had a problem, a desperate, heart-wrenching problem. Her young daughter was tormented by a demon. Imagine the anguish of this mother, watching her child suffer day in and day out, feeling completely helpless. She had probably tried everything and exhausted every option. Then she hears that Jesus, the miracle worker, is nearby. This was her last hope. So she finds him, and she doesn't hold back. She starts shouting, "Lord, Son of David, have mercy on me. My daughter is severely tormented by a demon." Notice how she addresses him, Lord, Son of David. This is amazing. She, a Gentile, recognizes Jesus with a title reserved for the Jewish Messiah. She already had more insight than many of Jesus' own people. She saw who he truly was. But what happens next is shocking. Jesus says nothing. He completely ignores her. The Bible says he did not answer her a word. Can you imagine her desperation turning to confusion? Here she is, pouring her heart out, and she gets met with total silence. To make matters worse, the disciples get annoyed. They come to Jesus and basically say, "Get rid of her. She's making a scene and bothering us." They just want her to go away. Their reaction highlights the social barriers of the time. They saw her as a nuisance, an outsider who was overstepping her bounds. Jesus finally speaks, but his words don't seem much better. He says, "I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." It sounds like a rejection, doesn't it? It sounds like he is confirming what the disciples were thinking. You re not one of us, so this isn't for you. At this point, most people would have given up. They would have walked away hurt, angry, and defeated. But not this woman. Her love for her daughter was stronger than her pride. Her desperation was greater than her discouragement. Instead of leaving, she gets closer. She falls at Jesus' feet, worships him, and says with simple, profound humility, "Lord, help me." She strips away all the titles and just makes a raw, direct plea for help. Jesus tests her one more time. He says something that sounds incredibly harsh to our modern ears. It is not right to take the children as bread and throw it to the dogs. In this analogy, the children are the people of Israel, and the dogs refers to Gentiles. It sounds like a deep insult. But this woman's faith was something special. She didn't get offended. She didn't argue. Instead, she found the glimmer of hope hidden in his words. She saw an opening. With incredible wit and humility, she replies, "Yes, Lord, yet even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table." Wow. Just pause and think about that response. She's not challenging him, she's agreeing with him. She's saying, "You're right. I don't deserve a seat at the table. I'm not asking for a full meal, I'm just asking for a crumb. I know that even a tiny crumb of your power is more than enough to heal my daughter." She turned his seemingly harsh analogy into a powerful argument for mercy. She understood that even a leftover scrap from the King of Kings was enough to change everything. This was the moment. This was the breakthrough. Jesus is completely moved by her response. He looks at her and says, "Woman, great is your faith. Your request is granted." And the Bible tells us that at that very moment, her daughter was healed. She went home and found her child resting peacefully, the torment finally over. So, what can we learn from this incredible encounter? First, don't let barriers stop you. This woman was a Gentile, a woman, and a sinner in the eyes of many. But she didn't let any of that stop her from approaching Jesus. No matter who you are or what you've done, you can always come to him. Second, persistence is powerful. She was ignored, dismissed, and seemingly insulted, but she refused to give up.
Sometimes the answer to our prayers isn't immediate.
Sometimes our faith is tested. This story encourages us to keep asking, keep seeking, and keep knocking. And finally, humility unlocks grace. She didn't demand anything, she knew she had no right to it. She simply threw herself on Jesus' mercy, believing that even a crumb of his grace was enough. When we come to God with that kind of humility, recognizing our need in his abundance, it moves his heart. This woman's story is a beautiful reminder that faith is not about who we are, but about who Jesus is. It's about trusting in his power and his goodness, even when things look bleak. If you're feeling ignored or hopeless today, remember the Canaanite woman. Be persistent, be humble, and trust that even a crumb from the master's table is enough to change your life. Thanks so much for watching. If this story touched you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content that dives deep into these life-changing narratives. See you in the next video.